As one of my favorite GCIs, Thunderhead has really stood its ground as one of the best GCIs, even wooden coasters in the world since its opening in 2004. It really has been running way smoother than its age, running better than ever. The main reason for that is because of the retrack they did on it last year, and man, that improved the ride tremendously, giving its rough spots a well-needed retrack. It looks great and it rides even better, so that's what I'll be doing in this video, my full review on Thunderhead. But most importantly, before we start, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more videos on coasters often. And also, if you want to see more, make sure to follow our social media pages for updates and much more. Starting out with the stats, they are actually very solid for a GCI. It's 100 feet tall, 54 miles per hour. The maximum angle of descent is 60 degrees, of course, with that drop being GCI's curved drops. It has no inversions. Naturally, for being a wooden coaster, a solid track length at 3,230 feet long. And finally, the manufacturer is of course GCI, being one of their greatest creations in my opinion. This coaster has a lot of airtime moments, that is for sure one of the best parts of the ride, and it's all mixed type of airtime. There are lots of those little pops into turns and just normal tiny hills that for sure are ejector airtime hills, but then of course there are these long airtime hills that give you great floater. I might even say this is full ejector airtime, and it's really sustained. For instance, on this hill, it is like the best floater on the ride. I say that because it's really strong for floater, like if you've ridden these other GCIs, such as pretty much all of them, but for instance, Mystic Timbers has these type of airtime hills, but you get the point. GCI airtime pops are so amazing, I just love them so much, but that is not all. This coaster is also very intense. It is just aggressive as heck, especially on those like airtime moments and turns. This coaster has just enough roughness to make it like a fun rough, and that makes it intense as heck. I also had multiple experiences where I rode this coaster in the rain, which is an experience, that's for sure. Especially if you're in the front, your face will get pelted with rain. It hurts, but it's also fun for like some reason. And before we get to the ride experience, the night rides on this thing, man, they are fantastic. I've gotten the chance to go to Dollywood so many times at every single visit, gone there multiple days, and almost like every single time I get a night ride on Thunderhead, and man, it is an experience. It's very hard to see where you're going, and it is one heck of a night ride. But walking up to Thunderhead, it is located in the front of the park, but to the side. If you know Dollywood, you know what I mean. But there's of course the iconic sign. You get into the station where there's your standard GCI trains, Millennium Flyers, which if you know what these trains do, they staple you if you give them room, so just don't put that much space between you and the bar. But overall, these trains do look good. They are very comfortable. It's just like a cushion. I would definitely recommend for the seat, go to the front, just because the front row is the first one to get over the airtime hills. It's also a little smoother, but then let's get into the ride experience. So you'll leave the station and take a quick turn down into your lift hill, a very loud lift hill. It's like all of your other GCI lift hills, very loud and kind of intimidating. You can hear it from much of the park, and it's just loud. At the top, you'll get a great view of Wildwood Grove, then twist down that curved drop, similar to much other GCI coasters, with that style of a drop that feels kind of like a bank turn, but as a drop. I'm not saying it's bad, it's a pretty good drop, definitely better in the back, but of course, this was the major part of the coaster that was retracked, and the drop in the first turn, which is next. It's a very solid turn. The first time I rode this with a retrack, I just noticed how smoother it was, but then the bumpiness kicks in with the next pop of airtime into this turn. The track change is very noticeable, but then this element is very fun, delivering some nice floater and some nice intensity when then you dip down into that long sustained floater airtime. This is that part of the ride that is visible by the station and the entrance. A very nice presentation with that turn next into the station flyby that as a bystander, it is very loud. It is very cool to look at. I personally love station flybys, even though on the coaster when you're riding it, it is just a straight track, but not for long. There's this great pop of airtime suddenly just after that flyby that delivers fantastic and sudden airtime. It's just awesome. Then coming up into some more turns and airtime. That's very solid, especially as you come into the back area. There is a turn and another very tiny airtime hill, but this is very, very tiny, and for some reason, it delivers great airtime. Then, it's probably my favorite airtime moment on this ride. It is so strong, it is absolutely amazing, but then you will turn into another turn as you kind of just meander into the brakes on a very long brake run. Like, I just noticed that, like, how long it is, but man. For its overall score, I'll give it a 9. It is for sure one of the best GCIs, one of my personal favorites, and it really just has the layout. That's for sure what makes it the coaster as one of the best wooden coasters out there. So, what do you think of Thunderhead at Dollywood? Make sure to post that in the comments below. I'll be picking out comments for a shout out at the beginning of the next video. Whatever comments I like best will be shout out. And of course, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this often. And see ya!